up here.
You know what the old school Samson?
No. All right, go. Drop.
You tuned into Latin Vibes Radio en la calle.
Oh! Talking to Smash Yo. Oh! At least I ain't seen one. Good? You good, ladies? Good? Why you looking at me? Whenever you ready, I'll be there.
We can't see us.
Whatever.
Mike's going on now. Bring it down.
Great.
Hey.
Let's go.
Buenas noches, mi gente. Buenas noches. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Welcome to Latin Vibes Radio and local.
I
We have Mr.
DJ Tyler One.
You, the First Lady.
And it's just back.
It's
It's
just
just
you.
Vic.
Yeah. It's not more than enough, mommy. Don't worry.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Tuesday after Cinco de Mayo.
After
Happy
Mother's Day.
yeah, Tuesday after Mother's Day. How was your Mother's Day?
It was beautiful. I loved it. It was so sweet. I was with my kids, the ones that are over there looking at me at this very moment. So yes,
Yeah,
it
nice and cool and happy
yes,
sitting on the couch.
it was amazing.
Cool. How
I'm
was
not a
your
mother yet. I got your
No, but
wild.
she's a fur mom. There's
fur
not
mom.
a holiday. for
Yeah. I mean, I went out to go with my mom.
her. Okay, so
You
see,
know.
Oh, how was
you
that?
can tell us what
Yeah.
you did for
Yeah.
your mommy. ¿Qué pasó?
Went out to eat.
Okay.
You know.
Where'd you go?
Don't worry about all that stuff.
Oh no, I'm trying to find the secret spots and be
Secret
more.
spots.
We'll talk about it. It's a secret. That's why we're gonna tell you about it after, because she's gonna tell you.
Right.
Oh, you hit? You know?
But it's secret. You wouldn't want everybody going to the places and then, you know what I'm saying, bringing all their amigos, their aunts and uncles, and their cousins and shit.
Mhm.
No, so
Next thing you know, they know where you at.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We public figures. I'm putting my life in danger.
Don't DM Neil because she ain't gonna answer because she a public figure. So what's
We.
we. That's right.
That's how
We don't answer DMs. We public.
Yes.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
You said I will.
I'm just
Hold
telling
on.
people, where we located, where we gonna be at.
Well, we bring our mothers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want them to target the ladies?
Speaking of mothers, what would be a nice Mother's Day dinner to have?
It depends on the mom.
I think you gotta figure out what the person likes, because I feel like everybody's different, and it's not always about getting them like a
I
dinner
know
or
some
food.
mothers
You got
that take them
sometimes
to a
it's-
restaurant that they are, obviously it's your first time, it's a different culture, and then you're going to try to tell the cook, que no, esto no se cocina así, what you know?
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, I found her, I just brought her with me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Like, why did you do that?
She got like
that's
the
what I
apron in her
said.
pocket. Let me
Yeah,
get in
like
here.
I just said, no, she'll be like, esto está muy, like, stop it.
Oh.
The waitress think, I know. And then she get the push. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna spit in my food. They're going to. She needs to stop. She needs to stop. Yes.
Really funny.
Yes. And other than that, has anybody heard any gossip this week that just passed? Because I heard a few bombs.
Okay.
What's the bombs that you've heard?
Didn't Anuel's girlfriend come and perform down here?
For the weekend?
Yeah.
For Broppy?
Yeah,
Fest?
and then supposedly she performed the day before in New York.
Oh wow.
And then she had the people kicked out, the Dominican cat, that boy with the long nails that they had to hate. She had him kicked out of the club. She had another artist kicked out the club, or the DJ kicked out the club.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are saying that she's letting this her being with Anuel get to her head because basically she wasn't heard of. Darlene, they said she wasn't heard of before this Anuel situation, but now that she's with Anuel, she's getting a lot of clout. So like, if she's treating people indifferent, then it's not the first. You know, I'm a nosy person. I like reading through comments. So the one from the New York performance, people were criticizing her performance that she does not know how to perform live.
Mhm.
Then they went to the Maryland performance, and I'm listening to them, and they were bashing her too, talk about young. You know, when they posted the video of them boxing,
Oh, yeah. She was.
they
That
were
was
like,
ridiculous,
you
though.
should teach her how to perform. And I was just like,
But they would play boxing, and she was like going at it, like trying
For
to
real?
actually. Yeah, she was like swinging wildly. I was like,
Okay, but y'all heard that
she's a loose cannon.
it's a rumor. So
and she's
talking
19.
crazy.
I just found out that she's
Oh.
19.
Well, he's what?
For real?
23, 24?
What?
What?
How old is he?
I'm gonna say like in his 40s, 30s. Look
No,
it up.
You just made that up.
The internet.
How old is Anuel, the artist?
It doesn't say.
1992. Oh, well.
That's 26, 27.
Okay, well, I take it back. My bad. Scratch
He's
that.
27.
She said,
That's my brother
unwell.
age. That's
I mean, because
29.
he got receding
He looks
hairline.
like he's 39.
He got motherfucker about to be
Yeah, he
30.
got
No, but
he got
listen,
receding hairline. That's what I was asking. You know what I'm saying? Because
y'all heard that he got somebody pregnant and it's not her.
yeah, that it's not her, and that the baby is his. That they had the paternity test done, and that guy just got a lot of drama con él. I like gusta el escándalo.
And you know, he got everyone he like dated, and it was like some kind of chisme, like some kind of like craziness going on. He got him tattooed on him.
Oh,
Like
really?
he got one in his hand, one right here.
This,
I don't
can
know,
you
but
keep track?
I don't know, but I was really not, like I said before, I was not really a fan of Karol G. Not that I had anything against her, I just really didn't listen to her music like that.
Uh,
But yeah, I've been rocking her lately.
Maybe he
Karol
puts
G.
it on his arm. So who? Karol G?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you saw that video.
No, but also,
Sorry.
but you know what happened between Anuel and the situation and him trying to go out there, and I just, people kept tagging this stuff, and I just kept seeing it on my feed. I just started to look into it and stuff, and it's like that's when I learned a little bit about Karol G. Like, she's a real cool, down to earth person. She's not out there posting her business. She ain't raunchy. She's sexy with it. And then a lot of her songs and a lot of her music ain't vulgar. Like,
That's true.
One
but
thing
what-
I liked about her was her Coachella performance.
Really?
Like she took a section to dedicate, but it wasn't just her doing them. She before she even got started,
Mhm.
her that set portion of the set, she said, something around the lines of like, I'm singing this because these are the number one songs that never got to make it to like Coachella stage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's homage.
She has a lot of fans, World Latin Star, and some of them are fans of all different shapes, sizes, and genders. Check out World Latin Star.
oh, you're talking about the video with the chick.
The what?
With the
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. Respectfully, because
Yeah.
she identifies as a she.
Yeah.
Obviously because
Yeah.
how she was dressed.
Right.
But everybody was just commenting on the fact that her
Everything was
lower region was just a little overly packed in the frontage area. We're trying to keep it PG.
Something you can't
I'm
avoid.
trying to keep
Yeah,
it
something you
PG.
can't avoid.
Let me not get
Something you can't avoid. But to each his own.
The kids.
The kids are hip though.
Yeah, but she that was not a camel toe. Okay, let's just put it like that.
It was a camel O.
Yeah.
Somebody and the quote on it was name the song. I was like, "Close your eyes."
No.
So we, enough with this idle chit chat
Yeah,
that we're doing,
yeah.
talking about craziness. We do have guests today.
Yes,
One is
we
in
do.
house, Yuli Chinola, who is an artist, multifaceted artist, which you'll find out in about 2 minutes. We also have Incencia, who is did I say that one? Incencia? Yes, she is a. Why are you laughing? If it's wrong, she
No,
it'd
because
be
you
like,
just
"No,
asked
you
and
did
you
it."
just asked and answered your own question. I was just like, okay, damn. You're like, no, I didn't even know.
I talk to myself frequently.
I see.
So she is an actress and a dancer, and she has been recently featured in the Heights movie, which was I guess a popular movie that reached a lot of world acclaim. So enough with it. Like I said, with the chat, we'll take a break and we'll bring Chinola back.
We'll be back. What? What's that? I don't know what that means. Huh?
So you want to sit in the middle on the side? I'm gonna sit in the stool,
Sure. What happened?
and I don't have a mic, so I'm gonna just talk
The mic is on the floor
by
in front.
myself.
You have many messages, Mommy. You need to do something.
You were there, so I'm not good. I'm good. Nice to meet you. So you wanted to mention Julie
my
having
God,
a
her nails are bad. Look at what the bikini that I was wearing
Yo
today. Your nails would have
I'm
been
about
perfect.
to throw this on the table. They don't stick. But now I'm gonna go like
But it was so cute. Yeah, no.
I usually carry glue with me.
I left it in the car trying to be
You want one of
cute.
the other
No,
two?
pero mira,
Yeah.
esa uña, I had a bikini on this morning.
The other mic, you got it? Okay.
Es
Yeah,
una tipa que
yeah.
la hacen es.
She's gonna be ready at.
A mí me encantan, tan linda, 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 linda.
We might go a couple minutes over.
¿De dónde cogió esta vaina? Oh, mira.
Oh, that would have been cute.
Mira, con esas uñas, muchacha. Acabando.
Acabando.
Spell your
Son
name.
ustedes.
What's it out?
Spell your name again.
Yuli.
Juliana.
Ah, sí, ella se llama Juliani. Ella se llama
I'm part of the Mala crew.
Ella se llama Juliana. ¿Qué más suena off the floor, please? Ella se llama Juliana. And she's like, you're
I got a cousin
Juliani.
named Juliana. Yeah, she's an Aquarius.
There's another name to that. Another is Aquarius. I am Virgo.
There's no way to do it.
I'm Aquarius, dude. Just look.
Oh, there you go. But you gotta raise it. You got a book? Can you raise it? Can you lift it? Can you raise it? Can you lift it? Can you lift it? Can you raise it? No? Oh, gosh. Una computadora más para adelante, así, mira. Oh, no.
No, you can.
Boom.
Better, right? But then, as soon as that song fades, we can get you trapped in chord. So, can you take the mouse and just fade that down?
Ah, no, tú no vas para mi dedica. Oye. Y que fade down, yo, squeak.
Come on, man.
Wicked.
Do it.
Love you, Mama.
I love you too.
We're all ready?
Yeah, she's about to fade it now. Just slide that down.
Huh?
Just,
I'm sliding, nothing's
no,
happening.
you gotta
Goodbye.
touch it first.
Oh, no.
Touch the top, and then slide it down slowly. Just slide it. You gotta hold it and slide it.
I'm holding, mira.
You want me to go from here?
Yeah, you want to just.
Oh.
Yeah, she got it.
Mike's going on now. Be quiet. 3, 2.
And we're back.
Welcome back. What? Am I supposed to press something? Pause?
You can just close.
Let's
No,
go.
close
I got it.
Okay, everybody, thank you for coming back with us. Today we got a special guest with us, Yuli, aka
Chinola.
Chinola.
That's my favorite drink. You know, aka Marañón. AKA.
Okay.
So does everybody calls you Chinola, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chinola.
So tell the people where you been. No. Tell the people where you're from first. I love it.
So I am from many different places. I was recently living in the Dominican Republic,
Oh, wow.
making music. That's where I would say my musical community is at. But I've been in the DMV since the pandemic. And it's been lit. I'm happy. I went to high school here, so I'm familiar.
Just put it right in front. No, lean up. So, disclaimer: Neil has been suffering from some things right now. It's okay; he'll be all right. No, that's good. Where are your parents from, by the way? What's your background?
Oh, so my dad is from Colombia,
Okay, cool.
and my mom is Dominican.
Epa.
But I grew up very, 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 very Dominican. So
What's that mean?
I don't,
For the folks that don't know.
I have a Colombian accent to make fun of Colombians. That's about as Colombian as I go.
Give us a
I can
Colombian
salsa.
accent.
Oh, really?
my Colombian accent.
Yeah, because I want to hear it. I feel like sometimes when I'm talking, you know, you be in the moment, you be like, oh, what the heck?
I apologize for the technical thing. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to really help out. You know, so
Neil is only good with her phone, apparently. No, but so you said very Dominican. Well, you lived in DR, right?
Yeah, I grew up going to DR every summer. My grandma raised me with my mom and my aunts. So I grew up with a lot of Dominican women. I come from a matriarchy, so just that's my life. And I ended up moving back. Yeah. I ended up moving back in 2016, 17, around then. And I felt so good, I decided to stay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you got a little one too?
Yes.
Congrats.
Yeah, that happened after the pandemic.
Happy
Okay.
Mother's Day.
Or during-
Thank you.
Did it actually happen
Dia de
during
la
the
Madre,
pandemic?
right?
Yes. It did on a fateful trip to New Jersey. Something
Oh,
about
okay,
Jersey,
okay.
it makes you a little bit fertile.
Oh, it's the water.
So there's the water in Jersey.
It's something in the water.
Joyce.
So what's interesting is you have a different take on, I would say, the majority of the music that comes out in this area. A lot of it is reggaeton. It's
Yeah.
what's your perspective on music and what you want to put out?
So when I started doing music in Chicago, that's where I went to college. And I started doing music there, and I was making music that I thought people wanted to hear. And after a while, I was just saying I tried to make like a little reggaeton track, a more R&B. I tried to make music like I tell myself for like the girls I wanted to impress in high school. Like, oh, these bitches about to fuck with me, you know. Then I was like, I don't really like it. So I said, forget it. And then that's when I went to Dominican Republic, and I was like, I'm going to learn about my rhythms and my people, and I'm going to connect. I'm like, I say I'm so Dominican, but I don't really know anything. So I went to go live it. I got really lucky. I got mentored by this artist called Xiomara Fortuna, who's been doing God's work in the sense that for years she's been going out to remote parts of DR and capturing these rhythms with other gestores culturales. I don't know how you say that in English. I guess like people,
Historians, cultural historians.
yeah. So I got to be really close with her and her partner. And that was my first. She kind of gave me like the entryway into what is the alternative Dominican music scene. And I got to do so many awesome things. I got to go get an award for her called a Soberano, which is like our big award in DR. And it was amazing. I also she took me into a lot of different spaces. And her as a Black woman, I really appreciated her opening that up for me because, I understand.
Afro-Latina, right?
Yes, she's Afro-Latina. Her music and her art is very much promoting Dominican Blackness, promoting our heritage, promoting Africa, and kind of just a lot of things that in DR go unsaid, go unrecognized. I feel like she's the best artist in our country, and nobody really knows about her internationally. So I feel so blessed that I was able to work for her because of that, because she taught me so much about music, about composing, about our rhythms and my culture. And she was like mi madrina. She gave me a pass to be a part of it. And so it just became part of my mission to promote those rhythms as well. And so people like her who are so incredible and so talented can be heard around the world as well with the likes of, it's kind of like what Bad Bunny's doing right now with reaching out to these alternative artists in Puerto Rico who are like very small indie bands that I knew about because of the DR scene, because we're all really connected. And to see Buscabulla, for example, on a Bad Bunny album, it gives me a hope for us, or for the people that are in DR. Now that Tokisha's blowing up, I'm thinking about, I know she fucks hard with rock music. She has fucking incredible music taste. And she's always been part of the alternative scene. Like, even though she's a mainstream artist, we came up in the same environment, which is called Ecualdea Casa Verde. And it's like this hippie house in the countryside of DR. That's where I met my husband. Like, I'm like so grateful to my friend El Gato who took me there. I was for my daughter. I was like, oh, But El Padrino, he was like, yo.
El Gato, like, local?
Yeah, El Gato is like the cat. He was in this big. He's crazy. He's a character. There's this area in DR called La Zona Colonial, and it's where all the alternative music artists hang out. And that's where I came up. That's where I was singing in Colmados. Like that's where people started seeing me because I was always singing freestyles. Like people would just play beats and I would just say shit and just sing whatever. And so that was really cool. People really fucked with it. And El Gato saw me. And El Gato was in a big band at the time called La Gran Mawon, which is like one of this big, like the biggest alternative band in DR. They have an incredible show with like percussion. Like you really feel like you're like in a
It's a jam session.
yeah, but just like it has like a spiritual element that I want to add to my music. Like you're in a gaga or like in your Fiesta Palos, like you really feel when you hear like a bunch of drums and like drum circle going hard, like with those rhythms that come from so many years ago from Africa. These rhythms are used to bring out spirituality.
Okay.
And that's what evolved into reggaeton. That's what evolved into our Latin music today, which I don't think it's a coincidence that people feel it so much I don't think it's a coincidence that our music, out of all the music in the world, is what is global right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's on purpose. Yeah.
I think it comes from, and I think the same thing, incluso. If you want to talk about music, global music, black music is global music. You want to talk about the music that's popping, it's black music. It's all comes from African rhythms, from American music to
Afrobeat.
Latino, Afrobeat. Everything comes from these tribal rhythms. I strongly feel that we have a connection to that. But it's ancient, right? And it lives in our body, it lives in our soul. That's why you see this white woman on TikTok whining. You seen the teacher?
No, yeah,
She got it. She might not have that cultural connection, but you feel it in your body.
Right.
You feel it in your body, even if you can't dance. So it's like she can, not me. But yeah, so that is
And it's related to DC Go-Go, basically.
that
Same
too,
concept. Yeah.
right? And so I think that's why it's so universal and so yeah, I kind of went off topic, but that's really where I come from and what I try to promote in my music, as well as women empowerment. That's my main jam.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. That's good. And I think so. You did the music side, and you also did because I know congrats on the doing the work with Telemundo now. Were you always doing, I guess, journalism in that respect, or?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because I wanted to go to school so bad for music, and I got a scholarship to go, and I did music, and then I kind of got scared. Like I stopped. It's like there's like a lot of spiritual stories where the person, the hero, gets to a certain point, and then they end up choosing themselves, right? But I just did it. I didn't believe in myself in that moment. So I was like, okay, what can I do that's going to pay me for sure? I don't want to work at the grocery store. I'm about to go and do journalism. Because that's what I went to in high school. I did that. That was like the magnet school and all this stuff. So, and my family, my aunt is a journalist as well. So I kind of just went in that route, and I'm happy I did in the long run because it taught me so many other skills. I ended up learning how to do videography, how to do graphics, design, editing, how to create. I ended up going from a journalist to doing marketing.
Oh, wow.
So it's all things that now that I want to, release my own products as a musician, it's so helpful. And it's also helped me make connections and help other artists that I love and appreciate. Because that's the whole point, right? Just to help to work in community.
Yeah.
And it's cool to be like, hey, I'll take your video, drop a verse or, help me out with this. It's nice to have different tools to barter with.
That's cool. That's cool. And I really like. We just got an Amber Alert.
I don't know what's happening.
There's no technical difficulties.
I looked at her, she was like,
all of us
what's
got
happening?
the same email at the same time.
2003 Chevrolet Tahoe.
And if you have a 2003 Chevrolet Tahoe, you better pull to the side quick because they're looking.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Right.
Okay, we got Amber Alert, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I was saying, so you were talking about like that spiritual journey and how you connected that with school. I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people feel it's hard to connect. they're like, oh, school is analytical. But you somehow connected your life experiences and the opportunities that came your way, and you mixed that with school. How was that journey? Could you explain a little bit? Because I feel like that's remarkable.
So I just knew. So I just saw my mom struggle a lot growing up, and she was just working really hard so I could have a good life. And I didn't see the good life. I just saw her struggling. So I really internalized that, and I was like, "We're poor," And so I took that into my heart, and I was like, I need to get a scholarship. I need to be good at school, because if not, I'm going to be at my mom's house. And I'm trying to get out of my mom's house. I'm trying to be, do my life or whatever. So that was what my whole mission was. And I'm lucky that school's easy for me. Like, I love words. I love hearing people. I just love stories. And, that's English. That's history. A lot of that encapsulated. Math was not a story I understood. But besides that, I did really well. And that helped. That pushed me to be able to go to Chicago and do what I wanted to do there. So I knew always that if I was going to stay in Chicago and do music and do what I wanted to do, I had to have good grades. And I had to work the path that the traditional world was giving me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take advantage of the scholarship and do what I can so I can live here, meet the people I want to meet, and create the opportunities I want to create.
Mhm.
And so that's how I use that as my motivation.
Where did you live in Chicago?
So I lived out west. I lived on Lexington and Western, and then I also lived in Pilsen, which is a little bit more south, on 22nd. And I love Chicago so much.
I lived in Lakeshore.
Oh, but if I'm serious, we can Lakeshore, but
Yeah, that's where I lived at. It was beautiful. It was like literally, we was 3 minutes away from the beach. It was awesome.
freaking beautiful. I love that area.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice. Y'all, she rich. You didn't tell me she was rich.
No, I
was.
wasn't. Not even. Nah.
She's rich in spirit and bougie. And,
Nah.
I
I was
I'm also bougie in
I was
spirit.
misled.
You
I was
see,
misled.
misled.
I was misled. Like shit. But even within the misleading, it was just meant for me to be there, see, meet. I conquered. What was the joint? As I went, I saw, I conquered.
Mhm.
And then I brought my little ass back.
That's what happened to me in Chicago too.
Nothing wrong with that. So, at what point did you know that you had talent as a musician?
I always knew that that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know. I didn't know anything else.
Mhm.
I was like, I want to be a singer, and then if as a kid, you want other jobs. Like, you think about doing other jobs. I'm like, I want to be a singer and a lawyer. Like, it was always like a singer and then something else.
Yeah.
And it's funny though. I don't know if y'all have seen Caso Cerrado. I found
Yes.
out that Ana Maria Polo actually sings the theme song. She's a singer.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
I've been knowing.
I didn't know that.
She didn't know that. I've been a singing lawyer this whole time.
She's in the intro.
She's a singing judge. I don't think the singing lawyer's been done yet. You should still try out.
Right?
Yeah. It hasn't been done yet.
It's interesting that you identified that pretty early, because I think what's happening now, and especially the young generation now, is that they see something that they want to attain and they want to emulate it, but they don't know the means to get it, which is crazy. And that's everything from being an artist to being a basketball player. Like, the work ethic is not there. What I do see from the stuff that you presented in media, social media and stuff, is that you definitely are dedicated to presenting a worthwhile product every time you put something out. And in terms of your reach, what is your plan? Is it to kind of, you mentioned the Afro-Latin background. Do you feel that there's things that you need to say and want to say, or is it your presence as an artist, or is there other objectives and goals that you want to use it to attain?
To be honest, with my music, I just, the way I feel when I perform is so incredible to me. It's just what I love to do. And the way that people act, like when I perform and when I really connect with somebody, it's just the best. It's the best thing. And so I want to get back into that, right?
Live, right? Live performance.
live. So
You mentioned, within the African roots, she mentioned spirituality. So you said that you wanted to incorporate those sounds, those drums. I mean, I'm gonna apologize because I've just been so bombarded with stuff that I haven't had a chance to, take a few minutes to listen to your stuff. But if it's anything like I imagine, because I myself is first, you mentioned Marina, so I know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here. I'm half, I'm half Cuban, I'm half Dominican, but I'm here. No, where she's coming from, and I can feel the energy. But it's just like I'm so curious, because I usually don't see people around your age, taking that type of stuff serious and then incorporating it in music. Huh?
She's ageless. I didn't.
I think I'm the old one out the bunch. Everybody here that comes here is a baby. What is she talking about? No, pero I'm imagining que you're your twice. Okay, entonces, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I find it now intriguing. I'm curious now. I want to hear her stuff because that's the type of stuff that I love to listen to. I mean, especially drums. I'm very sensitive to drums. Very, very sensitive to drums. So when I hear it I'm really looking forward to.
That's awesome. Actually, I love. I grew up in Miami, and my mother is very spiritual. Actually, on Instagram, La Empresaria Espiritual. She's like energy. She does all these. I grew up with my very, very, very cool spiritual mom. And so one summer, I went back to Miami when I was already out here. And I was with my cousin, and his best friend was a santero. And that was like the best. I learned so much. I learned how to read cards. I saw so much really cool shit. I think, now that I'm bringing that up, I think that's really what sparked my interest. Because my family, though very Dominican, they're very poppy. Like they very, like a lot of Dominican people just try to emulate the most European aspects and be proud of it. And so a lot of my family is very, very light skinned. And just like how colorism plays out here in the United States, you see it even more in Dominican Republic because literally for people to identify as Black, it takes now not so much. Like the new generation is really trying to bring that forward, but they identify as Black if you are extremely dark or Haitian, and there are Haitians of all colors. But this is a very if you're a dark skin. That means that you're not Dominican, or that means that you're Black, even though you've had all the other shades. Right. That's really what our people look like, So my family, like a lot of Dominican families, kind of went to that side. So when I was able to see that in Miami and understand, he told me, he was like, you have the soul of Shango and the heart of Yemaya because you're fire and your heart is motherly. And he just told me all this stuff. And I just carried that with me, and I remember how powerful I felt hearing those drums, hearing the ritual, feeling the energy of my ancestors. Really, because whatever you feel, whatever your spirit is, if you believe in it or not, to me that feels more real than whatever you could tell me in a Catholic church or those other settings, those European settings that I have been in. I don't connect how I've connected at a Gaga or how I've connected at a Siete Palo or a una Sarandunga. I have never felt that way with that music, with that culture. So I hold it dear to me. I hold it in my heart, and the music that I'm making now, I want it to be that, which is why I decided to just stop trying to be like everybody else, and be real to what I feel. Because I know it's actually awesome that you're here telling me this, because you just go on blind faith that somebody might want to listen to it and to have
because there was something else that you said that also, I mean, it didn't trigger me, but it kind of made me remember a few of the mistakes that I made, that when an opportunity presented itself, I knew that I had the qualifications for it, but something in me, I didn't have that belief in myself, to say, I can do this, even though I knew deep down I could do it, but that fear, what I'm saying, I was scared. It's just like sometimes people find their niche, they find what they want to do, but they're so scared to do it because they feel like this is what I love, and if I do this and I fail, then I'm some shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's why you're scared. You're really, really scared to take that leap. So when you said that, I was just like, I'm resonating with a lot of the things that you're saying because I've been there, done that. So when you said that, I'm like, oh, look at that.
So
I thought I was the only one. but it's the truth. You know, you just have that one. You get that opportunity that presents itself. So my advice to you guys, my advice to you, yo, the spirit that walks with you is so, your intuition is so powerful, and we forget to pay attention, or we ignore what walks with us. That sometimes you get a bad feeling when you're about to go somewhere and you ignore it, and you go out and something bad happens. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. And then you got the warning, you just ignored it. So, you know, it's the same thing when it comes to opportunities. If something in your gut tells you, yeah, this feels right, this is for me, just don't ignore it. You have to take that chance on yourself, because if you don't take a chance on yourself, why should anybody else?
Exactly.
And the universe watches everything that you're doing. The universe ain't gonna. The universe is not gonna let you proceed with what you want unless you're the first person that gotta take the step. You can want it all day, but the universe is just waiting for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna see what she wants.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Agreed. So I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to hang on. We do have Cynthia, who is via a Zoom-like product that we use right now. So you can hang out. You can ask questions. Hello. How are you?
Shout out.
Hello.
How you doing? Welcome to Lights by Radio. I'm
Thank
the
you
first
for having me.
DJ Taiwan.
And Miss Ginola.
Hey.
We're still trying to get the sound.
Can we hear her?
in
No,
order.
she got to turn her mic on.
Oh yeah, I think you got to turn your mic on for us.
Can you hear me now?
Still can't hear you.
Can you hear us? If you can hear us, not.
I hear you guys.
Oh,
She
okay.
can hear. She can hear my big mouth. Everybody can hear my mouth.
True facts.
Guys,
It's like-
No, yeah. I mean, I'm set. She's gotta come in. I
Did she
can.
just
There's
bang?
nothing
Did she
on your
just say
end,
testing? Yo,
sound-wise?
that's what I said.
Make sure your
I
mic
hear
is
you
up.
guys.
Yeah, we still can't hear you.
Let me leave and then come back.
Did you say you want to hang up and call back?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
All right, 2 seconds.
Okay.
We're ready.
Dale.
No, and that's why, that explains why I made that further connection with Raleigh, because I think there's about to be a lot of great creativity and awesome projects coming in the near future, just between that network that he's connected to and doing things to, and the stuff that you bring to the table. So.
I love that y'all had him on here, because I would have never known about him, and the fact that he's from the area.
Yeah.
Because I feel so, after being so connected to the culture and the privilege that my mentor gave me and all that stuff, to be in the midst of everything, coming back out here to dry ass America, where
Right.
it's
No
just,
flavor.
it's boring. There's no culture of joy. There's like joy of enjoying. I feel like a lot of that culture is like
You get the authenticity of it. What you get here is generations
But,
afterwards.
yes,
so we
but-
lose some of
but
that authenticity.
If you guys really look at the numbers, any artist that really makes buku money, they are the ones that perform outside of the United States.
Mhm.
United
But-
States
but
is just
most
they be
Americans
stingy
don't.
with it. America be stingy with it. They be wanting to pay you this low budget, you know what I'm saying, to go to Japan. I pay $10.
That's the record.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And-
record labels pushing it on there.
What? It's just the money is made overseas.
And
You know, Caribe, Santo Domingo, like a lot of the stuff is gonna hit. If it hit in Santo Domingo and it becomes popular in Santo Domingo, then it's gonna make it anywhere else. If it go to Santo Domingo and it's trash and nobody bumps that shit,
We're
then
still-
they hold it then.
Yeah,
No, it's
it's basically the same thing that happened with reggae music in Jamaica. Same thing. He would have a hit song that would be hit for like 3 years straight until it came, and it would take that much time for it to come to the U.S.
mm-hmm.
And then what people didn't know is all those little labels that were in Jamaica, the American labels owned them anyway.
Are we back? We're back.
We're still
Can you hear me now?
trying to tweak.
Cool.
Yeah, we're not there.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah,
I
we're still
got
tweaking it.
everything set. Hold on. I got everything set.
Today we're gonna learn how to do sign language, okay? So
We do it that way. It might be a short conversation. No, no, call it very slowly.
Espérate, no, wait, because I don't want to say something offensive. Did y'all hear about that lady that was supposedly she got caught? They hired her for a court proceeding. And she didn't know what she was doing.
You good?
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we got value. Okay, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm well. How are you?
Great, we're great. Welcome to Latin Vibes Radio.
Thank you for having me.
So you heard Who's Who, right?
Yes.
Okay. For folks that don't know, could you tell the people watching who you are?
My name is Essence Delgado. I am a dancer, model, actress, now singer from the Bronx.
send
Epa.
it to me, so I
Hey.
didn't know that part. Anything recently that you've been in that we may have known or something?
I just did The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is on Amazon Prime. I was one of the dancers slash strippers. We were like burlesque dancers. And I did a couple of feature films that should be premiering later on this year. I can't say what as of yet, but they should be on Netflix and Amazon Prime
Oh,
and Hulu.
okay,
Awesome,
okay.
awesome. And you're in the heart of New York, right?
Yes, in the Bronx.
Okay, in the Bronx. That
Mhm.
definitely is the heart of New York.
Yeah.
So how do you alternate between, I guess, all these multiple facets of your life that you're doing between you said singing, artistry, music, dance, film? Is that
Honestly, I can't even begin to tell you how. It's literally whoever hires me for what one day, that's usually what I do. So I try not to limit myself. I don't want to box myself in as just one thing. Because for a while I started out as a dancer and that's all that I knew. So I didn't see a world beyond that. Like I always told myself, I'm going to be a professional dancer. That's it. And as I started getting older and I started, branching out into other things, I started noticing that there's more to life than dance. And I knew that I always wanted more than to just be someone's backup dancer or, just play behind the scenes. When I got older, I started seeing like, hey, you know what? I can act. I can do these things. So I started doing music videos and it was actually an accident. Someone had referred me to a music video. They're like, hey, they're looking for models. I know you don't model, you dance, but maybe you should try it. And as soon as I got into that, that's when I was just like, wow, what have I been missing out on life? So it was kind of like an accident, really.
It's just like listening to it. I'm starting. She's got like that J Lo story going on. Empezó, tú me entiendes, bailando.
Mhm.
Then she started acting. No, then ¿cómo es? Yo,
Singing.
she's like, minus the drama, you know what I'm saying? Pero that's
Right.
multiple husbands back?
Pues, muchacha. Pero hey, I don't blame her. Yo también me canso rápido. You know what I'm saying? I get tired fast. And if you get on my nerves, but
Everything was
next.
strategic, but
Váyase para allá.
So, as far as dance, what are you doing on the dance side of things nowadays?
Right now, I was teaching classes. I was teaching an open heels class. I was actually backup dancing for Sin Santana from Love and Hip Hop. I was also backup dancing for another hip hop artist, Mo Money. She was also on Love and Hip Hop. I kind of took a step back from dance for the simple fact that it has become such a negative and toxic environment. And I was actually talking about it on my story today on Instagram, how it's not as fun as it used to be for me anymore because everybody's just in competition with each other. And when I started out dancing, it was to express yourself and to have a good time. Now, when I take all of these open classes, it's kind of like everyone is just competing with each other. They want to outdo one another. And that's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it for the fun, the passion, the love that I've always had for it. So over the years, it's kind of like diminished because I see that people are making it into just this big competition and it's not genuine and it's not what it used to be anymore. So right now I take classes here and there, but it's not something that I'm like 100% focusing on at the moment. I know in the future when I'm in a position where I can control my career a little bit more, I will definitely go back into it and train a little more, train a little harder. But for right now, I'm going to stick to like the modeling and the acting because it's a lot more fun for me, at least.
So what areas of dance do you have expertise in?
Salsa, bachata, hip hop, ballet, jazz. Like I grew up dancing. So I started dancing when I was 3. My mom put me in ballet and gymnastics. And then when I was 4, she put me into salsa. And then as I got older, I started doing like different things. Like I was introduced to bachata when I was in college and I started dancing bachata professionally. With my director, he literally opened up the dance world for me. We would travel to different areas, different countries, just performing in congresses and competitions. And he brought me to a couple of concerts with him. We danced for Raulín, We've danced for Elvis Martinez. We've danced for Luis Vargas, Zacarias Ferreira. So I was exposed to a lot of that at a young age. So I'm very appreciative of that. And I love concert dancing. It's like so much fun for me.
So which genre do you think was like easiest for you to pick up?
Bachata.
Bachata?
Yeah, bachata. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm Puerto Rican, so you would think it would be like more salsa. So that's what I grew up dancing. But there's just something about bachata for me that I just love this, like the sensual movement and just like just everything about it. I loved it. So people always said like, oh, she's a bachatera. She doesn't dance anything else. And then when they saw me dance hip hop or they saw me dance like in heels, they were like, wait, when did you learn how to do that? And it's kind of like, I've always done it. It's just I gravitated more towards bachata.
And you said sensual. You prefer sensual over?
No, I definitely love traditional. Sensual, I do it because we had to do it. Like when we would go to congresses, we were I don't want to say forced, but like after like we would perform, we would have to like social dance with everyone. So we kind of had to learn it, but it definitely wasn't my preference. I'm definitely a traditional bachata.
That's good. Sometimes bachata it gets over the top.
When you start looking like a snake standing up, it's a problem for me. No, I'm just like young.
And then they don't give you like your personal space, and I just don't like that. Like if you're not my man, I don't want to dance with you like that.
It's like teeth.
Yeah, no, bachata is so intimate. Like cuando tú te encuentras un papi, you know what I'm saying? He got you. Yeah, those are the ones that you don't want not even the air to get past you to. Esa vainita. That and Kazamba, oh my God.
Yes.
Entre bachata and Kazamba, I don't know which one is más caliente, but then those are quema panties right there. You know, those are burn hole in your jean type dances.
So what sparked the singing career, Lisa?
I actually had an audition for self-tape because auditions now are through Zoom. I was auditioning. I sent in an audition for In the Heights in Florida because I was in the movie. So I was like, let me just audition for this, and they asked me for a singing reel.
Is that a Broadway?
I'm sorry.
Is that like the Broadway show of it, or?
The Broadway version of it was supposed to be like in Miami. They were having like a 2-month engagement somewhere out there in like a theater, and they reached back out to me. They were like, oh, we love you. Do you have a vocal reel? And I didn't. So I said, oh, unfortunately I do not. And then I never heard back from them. So I knew, I was like, oh, fuck. Like I needed to do a little bit of everything in order to succeed. So after that, I told myself, yeah, I need to get into singing because if I want to do all of this, I have to incorporate the singing with the acting, with the dancing, because they don't want just an actor or just a dancer. They want you to be like a whole
total package.
Everything. So honestly, it was that rejection that kind of pushed me into the direction of, yeah, you got to get to singing. So yeah.
So when does the single come out? The new single?
Oh, listen, I'm still practicing. You know, I always wanted to sing, but I always felt like I couldn't for some reason. I was never sure of myself in that sense because people always saw me like, oh, she's just a dancer. She's just a dancer, you know, and this is my own personal issue that I'm working on right now, which is believing in myself and knowing that I am capable of doing more than what people expect out of me. So I literally, like, I'm training every single day. Like every morning, I'm always doing my singing exercises and just really strengthening my voice, learning my pitch, learning everything about my voice since like I feel like I'm starting this at a later age. So it's going to take me a longer than it should. But yeah, I'm excited for the journey, and we shall see when I actually do have my single.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I make a personal observation?
Of course.
As a performer. You know, are you in your early 20s?
No, actually, I'm actually going to be 30.
Really? You remind me so much of me when I was in my early 20s, just certain things. And what I would say to you as a singer and as somebody that has studied this craft your whole life, fuck that. Don't worry about that shit.
Yeah.
This shit is so about, and I know you've lived it as a dancer, especially. It's just being so confident in who you are. And I always say Drake ruined it for singings, because Drake just made it so that he now he can sing, right? But he
Right.
couldn't for a long time. And
Right.
what was hitting? That's what people wanted to hear.
Right.
And I say this to you as to myself sometimes, and to everything, like, you got this. Your exercise, you got it. You know, that's what's gonna give you strength, but it might take you shorter. It doesn't matter. Tú sabes.
Yeah.
Si no, tú te haces que sí.
Yeah.
Mira, siempre in the shower, now in the street, you know?
You're right.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone always has, and again, this is something that I'm also working on as well. Everybody always has an opinion about what I do for some reason. And it's kind of like, why are you so focused on everything that I'm doing? So I always get really, really, really in my head with anything that I do. Like, even I was hesitant to show my mom like a video of me singing. I was like, oh my gosh, like I showed my boyfriend before I showed my mom, because she's like the worst critic. So I showed it to her and I'm like, Ma, is this good? And she was like, yeah, since it's good. I was like, okay. All right. So now I believe that it's good, but I know that I have to believe in myself more and just trust that I am good at what I do. So
Yeah,
with
and
singing,
it's
it's a learning process.
always going to bother people who truly don't want you to benefit or truly to succeed. You know,
Absolutely.
so if you feel like somebody's like hating on you or constantly throwing you some shade,
Yeah.
that person is not doing it because you're not good enough. They're just doing it because they don't want, either you're doing what they want to do, or you got the balls to do what they don't have the balls to make their dreams
También.
succeed. And they're always going to say something to discourage you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like she said, you have to believe in yourself so much, and you have to believe that you already there. You already won. You already got what you're looking for. It's right there in your hand.
Yeah.
So when people start hating on you, don't look at it as like, oh shit, I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I
Right.
need to do this to change. Don't change to appeal to other people. You do you,
Yeah.
and trust me, there's people out there liking the dumbest shit because dicen que para los colores se hicieron los gustos se hicieron para los colores,
Así
whatever.
mismo, ajá.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, something that might look like garbage or sound like garbage to somebody else might sound like a masterpiece to somebody else. So don't change you, don't change your essence. And you know what I'm saying? It's always good to perfect your craft, anything that you do. So if you want to take your lessons, take your lessons. If you want to get better at what you're doing, then do that. But do it for your own betterment. No lo haga porque un cabrón o una cabrona vino y te dijo a ti que...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I think what's happening right now, especially with us Latinos, I feel like what it sounds like to me, and I'm sorry si estoy de freca, pero yo soy una maldita freca,
No.
pero lo que pasa es que they want to put a label in like a box, right?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
girl, you're a dancer. It's like, yeah.
You're like, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like, no, I could be more than one fucking thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Let me fly.
Like, you just read off your credits. I'm like, ooh, we in the presence of a real star. And that's sickening. If you can sing and do all this dancing that you
and
do.
acting. That's what I'm
and
saying.
act.
She's on her way to like Jennifer Lopez
Canta
title.
lo de menos.
Tú
J-Lo
haces
can't
todo.
sing.
Tú, I'm
Así
not, she,
canta.
pero,
But she
pero
kill
todo el
it.
que la
I
oye,
like her song.
todo el que la oye, you know what I'm saying?
Right. They love her.
Ojalá yo
Yeah.
de que
Waiting for
I love
tonight.
Parade. Y yo que estoy
Girl.
aprendiendo a bailar. Yo estoy peor que tú.
Let's take the Daddy Yankee example.
Oh,
He
no.
said that he was planning to retire. Everybody's like, oh, that's it. The end of it.
Right.
Why would we think that automatically and not think that this guy maybe have 25 other things in line ready to, you know,
Right, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
true.
The next
It's
thing
just
you
that
know, he probably
that's
start playing
so-
golf, or you know what I'm saying? We start playing softball. I don't know. He probably got something else to sleep. But you going?
Maybe it's
Because
acting
Daddy
or
was-
something, you know what I mean?
Well, it wasn't there a sports guy también that he started off on one thing and then out of nowhere he just switched up and like,
baseball.
yeah,
Michael Jordan.
ese mimito.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So you're entitled to do as many things as you want to do. Either puedes, so after you know, you want to model and you want to go and ride jet skis y profesional en esa vierga también, then go ahead and do that. Just don't skydive, please.
And this
Oh,
is
no.
Leave the gringo activities alone.
and this older 30, mira, 30. You got a long way to go to be successful.
I feel you, girl. I feel the same way though.
Jesus.
And especially if
Don't
you're
encourage
if
her.
you're in New York or Hollywood, like you're talking about, you
Yeah.
just see, you're like, you're like, yeah, I'm killing it, and then the 16-year-old come up. And
Yeah,
they're
no,
like,
do that
damn,
shit.
wait,
Do that shit
she
now.
got her knees are better.
Time has
Her
time.
knees are a little bit.
Time has no mercy. You need to live your best life now and do everything you want to do now. No lo deje para mañana. Just
Yeah.
take this, just live it now because this opportunity again. A lot of people miss out on opportunities. Go
Absolutely.
crazy, vuélvete loca. Haz toda la cosa que tú quieras hacer.
Yeah.
Everything about bungee jumping with the gringos.
Talent has no age.
Tampoco.
Yeah. It really
You know
does.
what? And I believe that, but a lot of the times now, like I find myself not telling people my age or lying about my age because
They're very judgmental in the
Oh my
industry,
gosh.
especially in the industry. They're always looking like, "Oh, you're too old." Or
you're
"We
too old.
looking
And
for
it's like
somebody younger." Fumata un mojón.
it's
Sorry.
crazy to me because I went today to the hospital to visit my grandfather, and the lady, she was like, "Are you old enough to be here?" And I was like, "Sis, I'm 29." Like, yes. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you look like a teenager." And I was like, "Thank you." But other people in the industry who know me, they're like, "Ugh, you're old. You're too old to be doing this." And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well then I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, and let's see, because they already have it in their heads. Oh, she's like 29. She's already older. But
Yeah, like
That's
before we
a
like
good
yeah,
technique.
no,
That's a
but
good
no,
technique,
it's
though.
legit. Look, before we get into that, let me just do what I do first, and then we can discuss after what I do. Because then, if I do what I do and you like what I do, then we can move on. But if you don't, then we don't even have to discuss anything. Oh, thank you for coming. You know, thank you for letting me come here. Goodbye. Ojalá que te vaya bien.
Well, what I can tell you is the true industry deciders, the ones that actually make the decisions, their spectrum is wide. It's
absolutely.
these folks that go the in between folks that
Mhm.
think, you know, in the position to make decisions.
Oh yeah.
They're
Definitely.
the ones that are trying to call the shot. Same thing.
Should be
same thing
people
with
are getting famous without anybody else. You putting up a freaking video on YouTube or TikTok y ya te jodiste. Oh, boom, te hiciste famosa just because.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't ever know who's watching. Just be you, man. Be you to the fullest extent, to the fullest of your female essence. Use that shit. Female power. Just usa todo lo que.
Eso mismo.
Ya, que usa lo que Dios te dio. You know what I'm saying? Nosotras somos encantadoras, somos hechizadoras, somos de todo. You know what I'm saying? Just put your stuff out there, but just don't waste your time.
I'm
You know,
looking for Essencia. I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh yeah. I
Everything.
actually, you know what's crazy? After I did In the Heights, they had sent me like an email wanting me for like season 1, and me like being stupid because at the time I was still working my 9 to 5. So I was working in a school. So I was already stressed out with them. I didn't even pay attention to it. So when season 4 came around, they were casting for it again, and I submitted, and they were like, "Hey, we're interested." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I scroll back to my emails like years prior, and I see that they actually wanted me back then. So I was like, "Wow, how stupid was I?" But you know, if it's meant for you, it's obviously meant for you. So I was grateful for that.
How was it? You're in the
Wow.
Heights. I'm really curious. How was your In the Heights experience? Like, how did you get there? And how did it feel? Like, I just imagine being in a production where it's like, it's where you're from, you know, you're a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx. So it's like, it's not the Heights, but you close, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do you feel to go and be a part of such a big production and then actually tell your story in a way, like represent that?
Honestly, it was very nerve-wracking. The audition process was about 4 months. I first auditioned in December of 2018, and I got like so many different callbacks, and then you know I thought I didn't hear anything because I'm looking on social media and I'm seeing people already rehearsing for it. So I just broke down at my job bawling. My boss is like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "I need a minute." I called my mom. I was like, "Mom, I didn't get it. Like, I don't know what I did wrong." And fast forward, I think like 2 weeks after that, they had another audition where they were still looking for dancers. So of course I went, and it was only for salsa dancers. And I was like, you know what, whatever. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. Throughout the audition, anything that could go wrong went wrong. It wasn't even. I didn't have a partner. My dance partner was paired off with someone else. Mind you, he was my partner for like 8 years. And his girlfriend at the time like grabbed him and was like, "No, you're my partner." And I'm like, okay, so I'm literally left with nobody to dance with. I didn't learn the combination, and they called my name, and I panicked. So of course I like grabbed my partner. I was like, "Come on, like, let's go." So I went and literally like we freestyled because I didn't learn the combination. I didn't have anybody to audition with. I didn't have anybody to learn it with. And the next day, the choreographer DM'd me on Instagram and was like, "Essence, what's your number?" And then the day after that, they emailed me and they were like, "We want you for the movie."
Epa.
Hey,
I was like, oh my God. So I was walking home and I was just crying and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I got it. She's like, no, you did? I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, everybody was doing the same thing that they practiced for, and here you come with just being different and freestyled your own joint, and boom, te lo dieron a ti.
Yes, exactly. And it's crazy because they didn't even take my partner. They picked me.
Oh,
wow.
So it was kind of like, wait, and he
so are
auditioned with
so are
me.
you are you and your partner? Are you and your
I didn't see that coming.
are you and your partner still friends?
Yeah, we are. It was
Okay.
ironically his girlfriend. She stopped talking to me because she didn't get the part,
Hater.
but I did. So I was kind of like, all right, well, now I see you really weren't my friend. But yeah, they actually didn't even take him, which I was really surprised because he auditioned with multiple dancers. So they saw him enough, but they asked me to do it. So I was like,
Wow.
so yeah.
Us as new fans of yours, what do we need to pay attention to in the coming months that you got coming up? I know you can't give out too many names on the Netflix side.
I wish I can't wait to get on that level.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you the name of the project, but a movie that I did, I think it was back in February. It was alongside Gabrielle Union and Lala.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that'll be on Netflix. I did. What else did I just did something. Oh, recently I can tell you guys. Wu-Tang on. I think it's on Hulu. Wu-Tang, the new saga. I appeared on there as well. I did an episode of The Blacklist on. I think it's on CBS or NBC. NBC. What else? And just music videos. A couple of music videos. So.
So we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with our loony selves here.
Yes, we didn't get to ask. So I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you if we wanted to find you on las redes sociales, to find more about your music and what you're doing and what your upcoming, releases are. Where can we find you?
So you guys can find me on Instagram as Julie Chinola. I actually just opened a new Instagram called La Fruta Pasión because I'm like, that's way better for marketing, right? So I got 0 followers on that one. Follow me on that one.
Okay, and you, my lovely, how can we find you on social media so we can keep up with your upcoming projects and your releases and your auditions and your movie? Really, cuando te haga famosa, your concert.
Thank you. I'm on Instagram at Essencia, ESSENCIAA. Yeah. So
On
my name is
Instagram.
Spanish because Essence is my real name, but one day one of my dance teachers, she's like Essencia, and I was like, oh, I actually like that. I'm gonna start using that. So now I'm Essencia. Yeah.
Right, definitely. So you have a remarkable story, and thank you for making some time with us today. We really
Of course. I was excited when you guys reached out to me. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't done one of these things in a while.
Yeah, well, Vic and I, we definitely appreciate watching, especially Latinas, doing their damn thing and creating special, making it possible for a lot of, other Latinas to get the confidence to do what they want to do and follow their dreams, whether it be music, modeling, maquillaje, ropa, fashion, all that good stuff.
Because they don't give us an
you guys
opportunity.
for following and pursuing your dreams, and we wish you here at Latin Vibes Radio, we wish you guys nothing but the best. Mucho éxito para las dos. Que Dios y los santos y el universo me la bendiga siempre. Amén.
Gracias.
You in a couple months to see how things are going.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
definitely.
Yes. So we'll hope to, you know what I'm saying, see you. ¿Cómo se llama? De que Dancing with the Stars. No, mentira. You're gonna be above that because I think that's cuando ya they've been there, now they're coming down.
Yeah.
And now they're coming down.
Supuestamente, right? That's Dancing with the ellos son actores.
It's true.
Nada que tienen tiempo para bailar,
That's why it's stars, because
yeah. Se cayeron.
Yeah. That's true.
We can go on forever on this, but much success to you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
thank you very much for taking the time to be here with us tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Take care, guys.
Noches.
Entonces. No. What? So
I don't know whose kids those are. You know what I'm saying?
So we hadn't finished with you.
Yeah, we're not finished yet.
Right.
Some of these kids they're over here just being.
So what upcoming projects do you have, or what are you working on that you want us to kind of?
So I'm
pay
working
attention
on. I've had this song for years,
Mhm.
I've had this song for years since 2017.
Mhm.
I got really lucky. Do we have time for me to be telling stories? I'm just
Go
so
ahead.
long-winded.
Say whatever you want to say.
I feel you.
You need to stay in this body.
Just say whatever you want to say.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I got really lucky when I went to Dominican Republic. And my mom took me to this producer, right? And so I never worked with anyone professional. I was doing R&B, right? So I never had worked with live instruments, nothing. Not that R&B doesn't have live instruments, but it's like very beat, Chicago type producer stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Mom, I want to do rock. Like, that's my shit. She's like, all right, I'm gonna help you. So she takes me to one of her friends. She's like, oh, can you help her? I don't know what you do, whatever. And she's like, yeah. So we go in the studio. He has like 10 Grammys on the wall.
Oh, wow.
I find out he's the sound engineer for Juan Luis Guerra. He goes on tour with him. He's been with him for 20 years. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. And I was like, what? I didn't even understand what was happening. It just went by so fast. He did the songs for me. And I felt so insecure about it. Cause I just didn't, it was so different. It was so weird. I'm like, this is weird. I played it for a friend of mine. She's like, you sound like Francesca. You know, Francesca, she's 5, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my.
And I was like, oh my God. So I got scared. I kept it.
Pero mira, hasta ella se hizo famosa.
Mira, no?
Mira que-
So then, like, my friend was like, hey, my best friend, Coco Mamba, who's an artist, she's like, hey, I want to go to Egypt and do a music video. Can you come and shoot it for me? Like, we'll shoot it together and I'll direct it. I said, cool. And she's like, we'll do your song. And I had done like this was like the third version of the same song that I did with the Grammy guy. I done it with 3 guys from the street. I'm like, no, I don't like that one. Just different producers. And so I played for her. I played the original song for her. I'm like, yeah, you want to hear the original? It's so bad. And she's like, yo, I really like it. I really like this song. And I was like, what? And so I kept playing it for different people. And they're like, this was 2018. I really like it, whatever. So I took so long to finally accept that I was going to put the song out. And that's what's coming out this Friday.
So a baby that was created in 2017 is finally going to be born officially.
I have I shot a video for the other versions of the song.
Okay.
So I plan to incorporate that story in the video and kind of let people know like
this story been through some, this song been through some stuff.
Yeah.
I like that though. That's so different. It's not probably not like so different, but like the backstory to it.
Yeah.
It makes you really want to see like with anticipation. Like what is this
like
about?
This
You know what I
version,
mean?
this is where it could have been, but this is where it ended up. So yeah, that would be hot.
Yeah.
How do you put your music out? Like YouTube, Spotify? What do you use?
I use 1RPM, so they end up putting everything up for me. But that song is the chorus goes, "Tú estás fresa, pero yo soy chinola," because when I went to Dominican Republic, my personality is like I'm very loud, I'm chubby, I'm very arrogant, and I'm just always having a good time. And I won't say I'm arrogant, but I'm just very confident. That's the word.
Yes.
And so I think I made a lot of people uncomfortable because they're like, why does she get to be this and not me type of situation? And I was around a lot of really rich white people from Dominican Republic that were kind of looking down on me. They're like, oh, she's just a little ghetto New Yorican type. And I'm like, I'm not even from New York. But it was like people had this image of me.
Es que en Santo Domingo todo el mundo de Nueva York.
The colonies.
Yeah.
So when I wrote the song in Spanish culture, for those who don't know, a fresa, a strawberry, is somebody that's really stuck up and white, like drive my Mercedes, like that kind of person. And chinola is passion fruit. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, you strawberry, but I'm passion fruit. I'm loud, I'm colorful, I'm this, agridulce, I'm sweet and sour, because I'm really nice, but I'm also really mean. That's my husband, So it's just, that's where my mom started calling me chinola. And making jokes about the song. And so I was like, yo, I like it. And I ended up becoming it stuck with my entire identity. And now is when the song is going to see the light. So I'm really excited. It's a nice little surf rock. Mm-hmm. And it's really it's really different. And then after that song, I have a song called, look, I just want y'all to see this nail. I'm tired of these fake nails. If you guys have a trick for that's not like a glue, like wall hardware glue, I'll do anything. This is too hard. I accept that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you have another trick. But anyways, so Que Hablen de Mi is the other song I did, which I'm doing it with Diego Raposo, which is like this alternative producer. He's done stuff with Arcángel and some pretty cool artists, Le Tempé and DR. And the song is it starts Soy diferente y tú lo sabes. Like I'm different and you know it. And it's talk about me so people know about me. That's the chorus, right?
I like that.
So I'm just that's coming out later this summer, and I'm really excited to bring that energy. And also I'm performing at the International Colombian Festival this summer, the July 23rd. So I'm getting ready. I watch a lot of drag shows, so I'm getting all my ideas for the past 2 years together, and hopefully turning it out. I hope to see people there, and
Send us the
yeah.
info. We'll
Yes, definitely. We're gonna definitely check you out. I'm definitely checking out her music. Like I said, yo estoy curiosa, yo estoy curiosa. Ella está incorporando, surf rock, muchacho. What?
Anything can happen on Taco Tuesday.
What?
I mean,
There's no drinks.
No tequila?
I know.
There's always drinks in here.
Where is it?
In the back.
In the back. You need to bring it to the front.
So when do you start with Telemundo again?
Pero eso te lo tenía calladito.
Gracias.
Eso lo tenía calladito.
Gracias.
No, it's new. Like, pero that's big. Y eso es la vaina. That's what she should have been talking about desde el principio. Entonces ahora, mira, she's over here. Te dije, I want to be on your level. And she's on Telemundo. Y cállese.
Oye, mira, Esencia, I love you. Mira, no, pero I used to work for Tu Guía. Before it was Gózalo con Yernandi. And it was a local show, and so I started working as a producer on the show.
Okay.
And then they changed the show to a more like, it was kind of entertainment. They made it more like a Latino guide. And I was still a producer and working. Then I got the opportunity to be in front of the camera, and this was in 2016. And we actually got to go to Europe and cover like a pageant for deaf teens, which was awesome. We got to do a bunch of really cool stuff, like when I was with the show. And then I went to Dominican Republic, so I stopped working. And then now that I'm back, I reached out and I was like, hey, I would love to do the show again. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. So I started with, I did some stuff in 2020 with Adobo DMV. Like I interviewed them. I don't know if you guys know about them. They're like they're really, really cool. And I'd love to work with them in the future. And now we just did a piece on the National Cannabis Festival, and I'm really excited because I got to interview Emilio and Gloria Estefan last weekend, and I actually got to talk to them.
They were here?
Yeah, they just opened here in DC at the Gala Hispanic Theater, the version, their Broadway play On Your Feet in Espanol.
Okay.
So for the first time in the world, people saw this play in Spanish, and the song, the dialogue was in Spanish. The songs, they had translated it.
Wow.
And it was an incredible story. Really, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even be talking about Latino music to this day. And the way that they acted, it was like they were so humble. Emilio took the time to talk to me about my music, and I asked him if they were just on such a level that was so inspiring. And I'm excited to bring that to the community because I was inspired to see the way the Latino art scene was respected. The Muriel Bowser came and gave them an award. Like you had the Gala Hispanic Theater, which has done so much work in bringing Hispanic theater to DC and to the forefront, right?
Yes.
And elevating it in a way, because I think the Latinos in this area have, even us as Latino Americans, we have this reputation, and we think about Latino community and we think about undocumented immigrants. We have this image, right? And even as Latino Americans of a second generation, we like, I don't want to be associated with those kids that don't even speak English. Like, no, I'm not on that. It was like, and so now I think so much of that is changing, and we're seeing very high elevated art in the DC area from Hispanics, and I loved that I was able to cover it, and yeah, so that'll be coming up this Saturday actually at 6:00.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just to give a little significance of this show, what we try to do here. So it's a bilingual show, obviously, and the goal of it is to, like you said, highlight all things Latin, culture, art, music, food, everything, but put it in a perspective that you don't necessarily have to know the language to understand what's going on. And I think typically,
I just love, that's my mission with my music. I'm trying to figure that out every day. Like, how can I reach everybody? How can I reach the Latinos I know that don't speak Spanish?
you got to teach them.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's just be bilingual with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
exactly.
that's what I would do. The majority of my songs that that I did last, I just try to incorporate. Like let's say for example, you can incorporate an English beat y ponerle la letra en latina, para que así the
Exacto.
beat will entertain the American crowd, even if they don't care what they be singing the gasolina, they don't know what that shit means just because they like the beat. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing if you want to produce una canción latina, write English words to it, like una bachata en español.
I think
una bachata in English, stuff like that. Like just mix and match it. You could just make it different, pero don't let it be a barrier. You can.
I also think that
you
what
can't please two people.
you played it, you said it spot on earlier today when you said a lot of the mainstream stuff we see today originated from what we feel inside, what comes from the culture. And you already had that connection. Do the music that comes from you.
Yeah.
And something's gonna hit.
Yeah, if while you're
Because
writing,
you got good energy.
Yeah, if while you're writing,
you
in
got the
Spanish,
answers.
Yeah, if while you're writing in Spanish, the next thing you know, se te mete gana de meter 2-3 words there in English, mételo. You know what I'm saying? Just go with the flow. Let the music guide you, and you know what I'm saying. But you can attract both.
Yeah, Bad Bunny's making numbers.
Yeah, you
and
can.
he does not say a speck of English.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can-
say that
you
too.
can- you can attract
Right.
both. Just basically release it, and when you do it, just do it with good energy, man. Y te va a salir heavy.
I love it because we haven't been forced to assimilate. Like Italians came, they had to learn English. Europeans, Germans, all types of people came here as immigrants and were forced to just assimilate, and we have refused, and they are assimilated to us.
And that happens often. I know it's a fake interview. But James Franco and Iggy Azalea, the one, interview from the movie. And he was like, "Oh, you're speaking in the accent." And she was like, "No, I just sing like that." But that's like
Exactly.
it's satire
No,
because it's a movie, but it's like for real.
Look,
It's
no,
satire.
but hold up. I don't know if you guys that you probably see it on TikTok now or stuff like that. But me personally, I love to listen to foreign music, especially from other cultures, even if I don't understand the language. And young, I will listen to it enough times that I will sing the song the exact goddamn way. Like the lambada, I don't speak a damn lick of Portuguese, and I will sing the damn lambada en portugués de principio hasta el final because of the fact that I done sang it so many times. So the same thing with Afrobeat. I don't speak French. You know what I'm saying? You don't speak French, but you hear me when the Afrobeat come on. My daughters, they listen to it enough times that they're singing the songs in French and stuff, listening because we listen to. So that no te lleve de esa vaina. If whoever wants to learn it, they're gonna learn it. If they like it enough,
They're gonna learn it.
se lo van a aprender. Olvídate de esa vaina. Just don't worry. No le ponga pero and don't put no buts, ifs, and this and that. Release it how you want to release it.
As a
El que le
creator,
guste le
be
va a gustar
very
y el que no le guste que no. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
one who wants to learn, they're like, damn, well, hey. Or if they want to, if she has an English following, they'll grab a little Spanish friend. Hey, young, what you saying right here, young?
They will.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck that mean?
When you got white kids singing word for word alfalfa,
Come on, man. You have people from Japan. You have people from
That's
other.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You have Indian people singing to El Alfa. Yes, I have. To.
That's so true.
What were you gonna say? As a creator?
Oh, as a creator, also be mindful of who you create with, because when people have different mentalities, especially when they're creating a project, so I know when I'm creating, the bass player, I was like, okay, do your thing. And he might go one direction. I was hoping he was going another direction, kind of steer, be the captain and like steer everybody to go
100%.
your direction. Don't lose your vision, because that could easily happen when there's a lot, you know what I mean? There's a
people making
producer,
appearances.
like
the
that.
session musicians,
that
the
would happen
featured
to me.
artists.
Yeah, that would happen to me sometimes with it was not all the producers, but a few producers that, in my mind, when I gave them the song, when we was in the studio, it sounded perfecto. And then I go home and they decide, they want, hey, let me tweak it a little bit, let me do this. And when I come back, I'm like, what did you do to my baby? Okay, whatever. It's your studio. I can't complain. Huh?
I was going to say that she's going to see the difference when you see all of these other artists that are out there thinking that they're doing something unique and whatever, and it's trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah,
not
but
everybody
you know
can
they
say
still
it.
come out with it,
Mhm.
and,
Yeah,
and,
but-
and even some people with the worst songs getting millions and millions of views because even the fuck shit gets shared. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying
Yeah.
que lo tuyo va a ser así, pero te estoy
Good
diciendo.
music
pero
is
es
about-
verdad.
What I'm saying is just take your chance, man. Fly, jump, jump. Esa,
Mhm.
así como tienen la montañita ahí en Santo Domingo que tú vienes y te tiran al río. A la misma manera.
Así
Just jump.
mismo.
Just jump. You know, you be all scared, your knees be shaking and shit, but just jump, man. Don't be scared of your dream. Don't be scared
Yeah.
of what you want.
That is
You have
true.
you have to love what you do, and if you're scared of what you do, then you're not doing the right thing. You're not supposed to be scared of what you love.
That's so true.
So, you know,
With that being said, it's bedtime, people. The
tell
oh.
them again where they can find your
You can go to planetchinola.com. So Chinola like chai, like Nola. Like Chinola, chai like Chicago, Nola like New Orleans. Planetchinola.com. And then you'll have all my videos are there. My bio, my Instagram, I think, is still current. And I want to thank you because it's true. Especially I just had a kid, so
Oh, congratulations.
thank
Mother's
you.
Day.
Thank
We
you.
got you out the house. Yes.
Yeah, I was so happy. I just and a lot of that insecurity. I started questioning myself on a lot of things because it's a very sensitive time when you just have a baby. Your whole life and identity literally changes in a second.
Oh,
8
girl,
months.
I got so many stories. I'm not even gonna scare you right now, but you know, good luck to you.
Please
Welcome to
don't
motherhood.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? God be with you. For real, for real.
So it's good to hear what you're telling me because sometimes we need a good reminder, a good patadita como dicen en el culo.
Yeah, no, it's just like you know, especially being a mom and trying to pursue your dreams and your career. It's a very difficult task, and I'm gonna let you know it's very difficult because sometimes your child just requires more time than the time that you can dedicate to your craft, especially because your baby's so little. You know what I'm saying? All I'm gonna tell you is, you know, you're gonna have to really, really be strong. You're gonna have to find strength de donde tú no lo tienes. You know, you're gonna feel down many times, especially as a new mother. You go through postpartum depression, and not because you want to, it's because one, your body's changed, and then sometimes because babies don't come with the warning, and because it's your first time, you don't have it all figured out. So every day is a learning lesson. Some days you'll sleep, some days you won't, some days you'll be extra tired, some days you'll have a lot of energy. You just take it one day at a time, young. And honestly, don't let motherhood stop you from fulfilling your dreams. Don't let anything stop you from fulfilling your dreams. But just being a mother, just do keep in mind that it's gonna make things extra harder for you. And just be ready for that fucking war. Because if I could do it, yeah, I know you can. So
go do great things.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
mete mano. Don't fear nothing. And trust me,
That's true.
because you got a kid, it's just gonna make that drive extra hard because now you want somebody else to strive with you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that's the positive side about it. But it is gonna be difficult. I'm not gonna even lie. Not everybody is capable of taking on the task of being a mom and trying to fulfill your dreams at the same time. So just be wary of that, but don't let it discourage you. And don't be like, oh shit, I'm a mom, I'm gonna just have to give up because I'm too tired. No haga eso. Be tired, you're entitled, complain, grita. If you want to scream, you know what I'm saying, do that shit, but do not give up.
Scream on the song.
No lo grite. No, I mean, don't give up. It's gonna, I'm telling you, it's not easy. And anybody that tells you is a fucking liar. Dale una pata por el culo y mándalo pa'l carajo. So, just I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, if you need to do something, you know what I'm saying? If you need to go on tour, if you need to do a concert, this is that. Búscate a alguien. I'm trying to get rid of the one saca. You know what the fuck? But you know what I'm saying?
She's like, don't
No,
give
not
up.
like that.
Don't give
Not
up.
like that. No, but listen.
No, she's just
What I'm saying is, búscate a alguien that you can confide in. You know what I'm saying? That you trust, that you love, that you can leave your kids with. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have to be somewhere far and then worrying and not being able to focus on what you want to do because of the fact that you have kids. Just, you know what I'm saying? If you need to do it, don't let that be a reason that, oh, I can't go. Tú tienes una mamá que si te ayuda, an aunt, so cousin, somebody. Trust, hey, can you watch my kids? I got a concert. I got a this, I got a that. But just don't be like, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't perform because I can't. You know what I'm saying?
No, never that.
Just find what works, but just don't give up.
We offer daycare. Just saying.
Thank you. I love this. I didn't know I was going to go to therapy today. I'm not being. Why are you laughing like I just made a real joke? It's real.
No, because it was like, go out and do great things. However, you're gonna have some tough times now.
No, I mean, I'm
It's motivation.
just being real because there's a lot of people try to sugarcoat shit and try to make you think that everything is going to be easy. And because of the fact that you're a new mom, and I'm telling you, because I've been a new mom several times, young, I know enough that it's hard when you're trying to pursue your dreams and you're a new time mother.
Yeah.
And it sometimes is a reason why a lot of females give up on their dream, because it becomes so hard and so overwhelming, and the energy, and you become so tired that you just don't have the time to do your art, to do a craft, to do a t-shirt, whatever it is that you like to do, because sometimes you just get tired. But if you have a good support system, it makes it easy. If you have a good support system, if you have somebody that, like, babe, you know what I'm saying, I got this, go ahead, I'll take care of the baby, whatever, that shit helps a lot. But if you're a single mom, that makes it, even harder. So that's why I'm just telling you, that just don't get discouraged when you get those moments, or when you're having those feelings. Eso va a pasar. You're just gonna feel that way. You're gonna get angry, cry, bitch, complain about it, pero keep it moving.
Eso, dale pa'lante.
So as we come off this Mother's Day weekend, it's definitely understanding of how much character life brings, women in the quest of things that they want to attain in their life. And all the mothers out there, you are definitely appreciated.
Yes, you definitely are, man. Even if nobody tells you, even if nobody, even if they think that your daily duties as a mom is something you're supposed to do, a lot of people don't have to do a lot of the things that they do as a mom. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of moms walking out with their new boyfriends and never turning around and seeing their kids again.
Yep.
So, the mom that does stick around, the mom that does stay, the mom that does bust her ass every day to get the one little piece of bread that you got, or the little, shoes that you're wearing that you mad at because they ain't name brand, young, it's fucking hard, young. So if you out there and you're going through shit, it's what you're doing is enough. You're doing what you can, and don't let nobody make you feel like shit for doing what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So just sigue pa'lante. Sigue pa'lante.
And for that,
we're about to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for joining live.
Overtime.
Definitely. We're about to have a sleepover at this joint.
Thank you, Cynthia, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you
so much for having me.
Got a lot of stuff coming in the near future out, so definitely check her out. Until next time.
Thank you for learning Nightlife Vibes Radio en la calle. Buenas noches.